Hey, it's Andre, and it's time for a Friday flying update, and I got a really bright idea. Come on, baby. That's right, another Friday is among us, and well, some flying was had this week, and well, maybe this weekend we'll get out and do some more. One of the items that has just arrived today is from Banggood, and this cost me like $10. You know, I've got a string that's very similar to it that cost close to $30 like a year and a half ago, so that's pretty cool. And as you see, or you might not be able to see depending on how the virus is reacting, and yeah, that's a 3S 1300, so this is going into a wing or something from flight test that's white, and I'll be able to fly it at night and have all kinds of fun. I've got my remote. I'm going to strip down everything and make it as light as possible, you know, and where's the control? There we go. And I can control the colors and just go white light and so on. So that's very handy. Again, $10 from Banggood, so nice value, good string and everything, nice connector. All I gotta do is break that box down so it's much lighter and put some shrink wrap over it and just string that all over through the plane. I mean, not really good for directional because it's all one color, but hey, this thing will light up like a Christmas tree, and you know, if I put it on a strobe flash or something interesting, it'll be fun. So, you know, you can never have enough lights on a night plane, as I found out. Speaking of night flying, earlier this week, a good friend of mine, Andy Chase, who's a pilot out of the U.S., was up doing an airline run, and we got out and got flying. I got to put him behind the sticks of the Sea Duck, which he'd never flown, as well as an Arrow, and my Arrow is back, my FPV one. And remember, this is the one I flew into a post. I actually found white paint on the camera lens, so I guess I was interacting really well with that football post. So this airplane is ready to go again. I used a slightly different 3D printed pod in the center this time, and some little minor changes, and it's, you know, stiff and ready to fly again. I do like that open top. I'll have to see if I can secure the battery a little better compared to the other one, which had the battery stuck in a little bit more. So this is working out. What I liked was, because it's inverted, you get a printed surface to bond to the bottom surface of the airplane. This one also had channels along the sides to help glue versus an open design. So that's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to get out and doing some FPV with this airplane as well. Andy was flying the other wing. There she is, which has been stiffened up again with the help of a few strategically placed pieces of wood. So that top one makes a huge difference, actually. So if your FT Arrow is starting to get a little spongy, punch something through up there. I've got the motor pod actually glued in and reinforced with a credit card now. But the stick on the top, Aaron Bates, bridge builder on Instagram, a good flight test friend, put a picture and suggested that, and I have to say bravo, because that's a really smart hack on that, and it really changed how stiff that wing is. So actually, ironically enough, when I was diagnosing the crash, I noticed that I had shredded the whole FPV cable, so that one just came in just in time. I actually had another one on hand, so these are like $2 again from Banggood, but really handy to have for those FPV camera setups, because I like the video input cables were all shredded, the power ground cables, so I still have a balance board tab at my disposal now, so that's pretty good. This weekend, I'm hoping to fly a few more warbirds. The FW190 is ready to go. The Corsair S just needs some inserts into the replace the rudder setup. I did fly last weekend, and you see the video online, the P-40, which was pretty impressive in that big heavy wind, so maybe I'll get out with that again, but my goal is just to keep pushing on. Tomorrow, who knows, fingers crossed, you know, I'll get out. Now, the P-51 was an absolute disaster, and I know what my error was. I ran the thing on 3S, and I should have punched it up to 4S because it was installed the entire time. And I've documented and I've said it before, that color scheme that it flies with, the gray and brown, is the worst color scheme for me. So that plane is going to get some artwork, some yellow, something, to splash of color to help me along, because as I was falling through the sky and I literally was tumbling along, I couldn't see what I was doing, and it was one of my more frightening flights of the year, but not the first time I've experienced it with that airplane. So I will watch the FW190 very closely as far as colors. Then again, it's been another year, and as a pilot, I've grown and developed and gotten better at it, because I can track the green birds, the blue birds, and all that really well. So that's really distracting, isn't it? Eh? I'm going to unplug that. But again, running on 3S, Real simple plug. There, off. So, I haven't had a lot of chance to build up anything and work. I've actually been going through the fleet, and we had a good checklist of what was working still and what was not working. So a little bit of maintenance is required. The VersaWing is actually going along, and if the weather is really bad over the weekend, I'm praying, well, not praying, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'll have some free time and I can jump in and start working on those SweepWings, both of those airplanes, to start documenting what I want to do with each wing and why, and how I want to position them. I'm really thinking the Juggernaut's going to be full-on cruising FPV ship, and I'm really thinking about adding lights and tail lights and everything, so that thing can just go through the air and have a lot of fun with other aircraft tracking it. Keep it 3S, keep it simple, keep it robust with the vector flight controller. And then the Finch will be the 4S massive crazy monster flying wing that'll just be a race wing in waiting kind of thing. So there we go, folks. Saturday, fingers crossed, I get out and go flying and have some fun, do some aerial adventures. Sunday looks a little wet around here, but you never know. So have a fantastic weekend. Happy Friday.